What's good, everyone? Welcome to the PWD channel where we discuss professional wrestling. In today's video, I'm talking about the April 10th, 2023 episode of Monday Night Raw. It's actually still going on right now as I'm recording this. The Usos are jumping on Kevin Owens right now, like right behind the phone. I can see the screen. But I'm going to be talking about today's show. I'm surprised that they're getting jumped right now. I'm surprised that they're doing this angle, considering that, for those who don't know, for those who have watched, they're actually coming out right now. You guys are getting my live reaction to the show right now. Matt Riddle and Sami Zayn just pulled up late. Apparently, not even apparently, it had been reported before the show even started, and Corey Graves actually announced before the show started, or as soon as the show started, Corey Graves announced on commentary that a lot of people, like 50% of the roster, due to flight delays, I think the weather in Seattle was really bad today, so due to flight delays, unfortunately, I think like 50% of the roster wasn't able to pull up to Raw today. A lot of the stuff on Raw got scrapped, and a lot of stuff got changed. Matt Riddle and Sami Zayn were one of those people who were affected by flight delays. Whether that's kayfabe or not, I'm not too sure, but they did just come out right now, and they are jumping Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline after they just beat down on Kevin Owens in the main event. But I'm going to be talking about today's show. I'm still watching it as I'm talking about it, but I'm going to talk about today's show. Let's get straight into it. I want to talk about the main event, though, because not the main event, sorry. I want to talk about one of the most important things to me, and that's that Liv Morgan is finally holding a championship in WWE yet again. It has been too long since we've seen Liv with a championship. It's always nice to see her. She's definitely a fan favorite, which is why I made the title and thumbnail about this whole win. She is one of the fan favorites for sure, and I think a lot of people just love to see Liv Morgan succeed, and we got to see her succeed tonight along with Raquel Rodriguez, from a fellow Latino, basically. From a fellow Latino, it's amazing to see us Latinos winning right now. We got the Latino World Order. We got Raquel as champion right now. It's looking very good right now, and they both won the tag team championships against Trish and Becky. Now, unfortunately, and yeah, I did say Trish. I'll get into that in a little bit, or I'll get into that right now. So basically, before the match started, Liv and Raquel ended up finding Trish status like laid out, like she just got jumped backstage. They didn't say by who. They didn't announce who did it. They didn't say anything like that. I don't know if it was Trish, because she was talking to Becky after she turned, and this is a spoiler, she did turn heel on Becky after the match. I don't know if that was, I don't know if Trish said that she was the one who jumped Lita. I'm not too sure about what happened really, but basically Lita got jumped before the match even started, and Becky was mad. She thinks that Liv and Raquel ended up doing it. I don't think they ever announced who did it. I'm not too sure about that, but she did get jumped, so they did the little freebird rule, and they ended up doing Trish and Becky on the same team instead of Lita and Becky. So we got the little freebird tag team trio that was going on, and they're going to face off Liv and Raquel. This match started off really good. I actually really enjoyed the match at first, but about 30% of the way in, I'm not even going to lie, this match became a botch fest. There was a lot of botches. There was a lot of poor communication. The chemistry just wasn't there between these two teams. I'm not sure if that has something to do with a last minute call, or if this match was planned to begin with. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm not sure what happened though, but this match just wasn't it for me. Again, it started off good. The first, I think that almost the first half, the first 30% to the first half of the match, I was enjoying it. I was like, this match is good. The crowd was not into it at all. The crowd was very, very quiet, but it was one of those matches that was like, to me, it was so good that I could ignore the crowd sound and ignore the fact that they were just completely quiet and just enjoy it. And so I was enjoying it. And then again, like I said, it just became very poorly communicated. It wasn't a really worked match, a well-worked match at all. And you could tell even Becky was starting to get visibly frustrated, visibly annoyed at, I guess, the lack of communication between the wrestlers. I don't know exactly who was at fault here. I think it was kind of a mixture of, I think it was mostly Raquel. To me, it looked like it was mostly on Raquel and Trish. It looked like both of them just weren't doing their best work on this specific night. And you could tell Becky was getting visibly annoyed for whatever reason. The match ended. Trish went for the chick kick, and Raquel dodged it. Sorry, was it Raquel? No, I think it was Liv. I wrote down Raquel in my notes, but I swear it was Liv. Liv dodged the chick kick and rolled her up for the win. And again, like I said, Liv Morgan is a SmackDown Women's a tag team Women's Champion yet again in WWE. It's so nice to see her holding a championship again. Like we love Liv, we love our queen Liv holding a championship. All of us love Liv. She's like a fan favorite for whatever reason. We just love her, and she's an awesome person. So it's nice to see her holding a strap again in WWE. And of course, I love Raquel. It's nice to see her holding a strap as well. Again, in my notes, I just said the match just wasn't good. A lot of spots being called very loudly. It seems very unorganized. But I'm happy with the result. I'm happy to see Liv win. When she did win, the crowd popped hard. I think they kind of take them back a little bit. They were a little bit shocked that the finish came that early, but we were still happy nonetheless. Overall, for the circumstances, like I said earlier in the beginning, a lot of members of the roster were missing this morning. A lot of them were. Everything was unorganized. The show had to be changed. It was reported by Sean Ross Sapp that the show had to be drastically changed pretty much due to the fact that a lot of flight delays were happening and just weather delays in general. With that being said, I think the show was pretty good. They put on some pretty good wrestling tonight. It was fantastic. Dom and Finn had a good match in the beginning. That kicked off, or sorry, not Dom and Finn. Ray and Finn had a good match in the beginning. That started because of Dom. They had a match in the beginning of the show that kicked off. It was the first match of the show. It was a good match. Dom ended up getting the interference, so Finn could win. That was good though. Like I said, we had the Trish. We had the tag team match. It wasn't that good, but the finish was awesome. We had Io. Their damage control is finally they're going further into the whole storyline of breaking up. I think we're going to see soon. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Dakota Kai and Io Sky turn on Bayley really soon. I think we're heading towards that scenario. That's what it's looking like. It started off in the segment backstage. Bayley was talking to Adam Pearce backstage. They didn't show it, but she came out of Adam Pearce's little headquarters, I guess, his little office. He came out of there, and she was like, guys, I know you guys wanted a tag team match so bad. I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get you guys a tag team championship rematch, but what I did do is I got myself into a singles match, and if I win, it's to face Bianca Belair for the championship, and if I win, I could win the championship, and I'll have a little bit more leverage being the women's champion so that I can get you guys into a tag team match for the rematch for the titles. That's what Bayley said, and Io and Dakota Kai were not having it. They were like, okay, what about us? You went in there to talk to him about us, and you're the one who walks out of match. What about us? This is not nice. This is not cool. Io says some really cool shit in Japanese. I'm not sure what she said, but she went off in Japanese on Bayley. Bayley's like, okay. Like they both went off on her, and they took turns going, having their licks on Bayley. And Bayley's like, okay, you know what? Okay, I'll do you guys a favor. I'll have Adam Pearce replace. I'll have one of you in the match instead of me. I'll let Adam Pearce choose. I'll have him in the match instead of me. I'll ask if I could be swapped out, and we'll see what happens. So that ended up happening, and it was Io Sky that was actually put into the match. So it was Io Sky versus Piper Niven versus Mia Yim. The winner gets to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship, and Io ended up winning. As soon as Io won, Dakota Kai celebrated with Io immediately. She ran into the ring. She was so hyped. She seemed so happy for Io Sky to get this #1 contendership match. But the one person that wasn't happy was Bayley. She was on the outside, and she was smiling, but she was like shocked. She was like, and like it seemed like she was low-key pretending, low-key forcing herself to smile, and she was more shocked than anything else. And I think that they're teasing even more dissension. I don't think Bayley was happy that Io Sky got the W. She smiled, and again, she made it seem like she was, but I think it was all a little bit of a fake, a little bit of an act. I think Bayley definitely wanted that win for herself and wanted that slot for herself, and it's okay because it's going to be Io Sky versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. It's really interesting to see where they go with this. I'm really interested to see, are they going to have Bayley turn on Io, or are they going to have Bayley cost Io the match? What's going to happen? How is this going to go? How are they going to further this storyline between Damage Control? And what is this going to turn out to be too? Is it going to be Io Sky and Dakota Kai breaking off from Bayley, or is it going to be all three of them starting to feud and interfere with each other to make a pretty good triple threat, maybe like at SummerSlam or something? What's going to happen? I'm so interested to see what's going to happen here. But I think we're going towards the right direction for this storyline. I think we're going to break up this faction soon. I'm just interested to see how it goes for sure. We also got an awesome Usos versus Alpha Academy match. That was good as well. And then the main event, Kevin Owens and Solo. Solo ended up winning with the Samoan Spike off of interference from the Usos. Kevin Owens, he was selling the injured knee. His knee is still injured from what happened last week on Raw. And he fought off the bloodline for a lot of the match. You know, he was beating up the Usos on the ringside. He was doing good and holding his own, but again, time after time again, just like with Roman matches, the Usos just kept interfering with Solo's match and ended up giving the victory to Solo. Kevin Owens takes a loss, unfortunately, and then afterwards, you guys got to see my live reaction to it. Sami Zayn and Matt Riddle ended up coming out, beating down on the bloodline, and they got the advantage there. And yeah, it was, all things considered, considering the fact that a lot of the roster was missing. Another thing I forgot to mention as well, Cody ended up calling out Brock Lesnar for a match at Backlash, so that's going to be good too. All things considered, the fact that, you know, a lot of the roster members were missing and all that stuff, it was still a pretty good match. I mean, it's still a pretty good show in my opinion. For everything considered, it was a good show. I really enjoyed the show. It wasn't fantastic by any means. In some points of the show, it did feel a little bit mid. I was getting a little bit bored. Like the women's tag team match, despite the win, a lot of it was like, okay, this is like really bad, and I'm not enjoying it because of that. Bobby Lashley had a disqualification, not a disqualification, it was a double count out between him and Bronson Reed as well. That was a little bit disappointing. They did brawl afterwards, which the crowd got really hyped for, but it wasn't a long enough brawl at all. It only lasted like 20 seconds, unfortunately, before it was pulled away and the cameras cut away. But just in general, again, it was still, everything considered, it was still a decent episode of Raw. I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and end this video there, guys. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of Raw. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because I make wrestling content like this weekly. I will not be here for the Friday night SmackDown review, unfortunately. I will be. It's my birthday on Saturday, and on Friday, this whole weekend pretty much, I'm going to be celebrating. So I will unfortunately not be able to cover SmackDown. I will be missing this Friday night episode of SmackDown, but I will be back on Friday. I will have a video on Friday, I believe it is. It's either on Wednesday or Friday. I think it's on Friday, though. I will have a video. So there will be a video. I'm going to be talking about, will Vince McMahon ruin WWE? Because for those who don't know, he's back. He hasn't been in head of creative for the past 2 shows, but he was 3 shows ago. I'm still not sure what's going to happen with all that, but I'm going to be talking about in that video, will he ruin WWE? So that'll be out on Friday, like I said, and I won't be able to do the SmackDown review, but I make wrestling content like this weekly. I do the SmackDown review, I do the Raw review every single week, so stay tuned and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video. See you all later. Love you all. Peace.